What's up, everybody? Stephen Martinez, Nicholas Gambaro. Nick and Steph show is back again. Uh, we're having some technical issues over here. Big Dog's computer decided it wanted to, you know, act up last minute, so we had to do had to do it the old-fashioned way with the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. You still get pictures in the backdrop, but it's not the Coliseum quality that you're used to.
Yeah,
As
now
far
as
as
I feel like a good luck charm for the Islanders every week when they play.
as far as why my background,
Yeah, Clevelando.
as far as why I have this background I have, they made a they made a couple big acquisitions over the past couple of days. You signed John Johnson, the outstanding quarterback of the St. Louis Rams, and then they brought in a pass rusher, and then they brought back Malcolm Smith, the Super Bowl MVP, to the linebacking core. So I mean, we made some acquisitions. I'm feeling kind of good about the defense today. Hopefully, it translates.
There
Hollywood
you
Higgins
go.
is back. Hollywood Higgins is back for the boys. So, the offense is gonna be. Baker gonna have some good ESP, as they like to say. So I'm happy. I'm a happy Brown fan. But we still got some work to do. I'd like to see them bring back BJ Goodson. I'd like to see them bring back a couple pieces, and then we get going towards OTAs, training camp, mini camp, and all that good stuff. With that being said, Big Dog, I would be remiss if we didn't go over some of these Jets editions. Jets have some pieces this week. I mean, they didn't blow anybody away. They weren't earth shattering, but they're
Yeah,
pieces you need.
it's all right.
They're pieces you need.
Nothing great.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far because I think um I think the wide receiver you signed, I think Corey Davis is I think that kid is gonna be a superstar. I think they signed Cole today from the Jaguars, 1 year deal. Listen, and I know you don't agree with this, so to speak, but I think I would give Juju some money, man. Two-year deal. He's comfortable with Sam. They played together. There's a familiarity there. He gives you guys a top wide receiver in the league, and him and Corey Davis could definitely create some problems. And so I'm not. I don't totally hate what you guys have done, and you guys also brought in a linebacker too. So if you a Jet fan, yes, you understand this is a rebuilding phase and all this sort of stuff. But now I think you have to focus on how do we fill out the rest of this roster, whether it be in the draft, whether it be in free agency, whether you can make a trade here and there. But um, give the Jets some credit because they got some things done. I know it's not the sexy things that everybody wanted, but listen, sometimes it's the ancillary pieces that can help your franchise start to build that reputation. So um, it's been a crazy couple days in NFL free agency. There's been a couple things that I was like, huh. But what do you take away from what the Jets have done? Or are you even paying attention? He's like, I don't care.
I mean, I've been paying attention and stuff, but again, with the Jets, I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm always, I pay attention, but
Yeah, you're pessimistic though. He's
yeah,
pessimistic.
until I see a change, what is there to be excited about? Honestly,
I mean, but I don't think that honestly. Here's where me and you are gonna disagree here for at least 1 second. I think there is a lack of patience with your argument because you want them to be good now. You don't want to wait the 2, 3 years from now when what I see is them actually trying to build something that's sustainable. Like I'm kind of happy they didn't go get Deshaun, and we'll talk about some of the crazy Deshaun Watson stuff that's came out over the last 72 hours. But I'm happy that they're just trying to build from within, build a young core, have some cap room, have some capital, Don't go crazy for stars in free agency. Like I kind of like what they've done. Now, is it what everybody else wanted them to do? Not necessarily, but I think you have to start somewhere. And I think it's better that they started in this position than giving all this money to stars like Galladay and all these guys that are, yes, they're proven, but your situation is not win now. So I like kind of that they took the conservative approach. And if it works out, we'll be able to be better off in the future. I know you disagree, but I want your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, they're definitely prepping for the future, and it's going to take another however many years. But we'll see what happens.
So I think it's difficult from this standpoint. I mean, I wish that we kind of know, and of course they'll never tell you this, but I don't see the downside in playing with Sam Darnold for another year. I really don't. I don't see the downside in it because I don't think any of these quarterbacks are going to be franchise game changing caliber quarterbacks other than Trevor Lawrence, who I still think has more questions in my opinion. I don't see him as a transcending quarterback. Not yet anyway. I could be wrong, but um Zach Wilson reminds me of he's a smaller version of Sam Darnold. Like
Yeah,
it's the same player. You could go down the list of the other quarterbacks that are in the draft who have some upside. I know everybody's talking about the kid that you know, there's a kid in Oregon that everybody likes. I'm like, yeah, don't move the needle. So for me, I say stay with what you got and then try to build it from there. Now, this is the thing though. They still haven't agreed to re-sign Sam. They still haven't figured out what they're gonna do with his contract. Like there's still that option of do we bring him back? Do we sign him? Is his fifth year gonna are we gonna guarantee it? They haven't decided that yet. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I mean, where are we at? What are we doing? Like what does this mean for the franchise? Not only this season, but moving forward? That's a very interesting question that hasn't been answered yet. And the more you think that they wait not to renew the option, it makes me think that they might be thinking about drafting quarterback. But like you say all the time with this organization and organizations like this, who the hell knows?
oh my lord. Yeah, thus drafting quarterbacks usually never really pans out to begin with, so
Right. I mean, look, I think this is the hard part too. Is it fair to say, Big Dog, that we don't really know what type of general manager Joe Douglas is yet? Is that fair? Or am I being a little bit too kind when I make that assessment?
nah, I mean, I last year was his first draft. Wasn't great.
No, but
So
I don't think it was his draft though. I think Gage drafted those players. That's what I'm
possible.
saying. So
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to judge off of last year. I think you got to give him another draft or two and evaluate, see what this new head coach does.
right,
I think ultimately they keep Sam because, like you said, Peter Rosenberg said it too a while back. He's basically another Sam Darnold. And yeah, his stats are great, but to me, you can't go off of that because one, it's college, and two, it's BYU. I mean, I don't. Who's BYU really playing? So,
my point exactly.
and
Right.
that was also to the. I don't know. You know this too. We've been watching football forever. Drafting QBs, it's because they're like over evaluated, I feel like. And then, of course, which I can understand why the West Coast guys kind of get a bad rap because who are they? They ain't playing anybody solid. Who?
Right.
UCLA, USC, Washington. Like, I know
Right.
USC is a history and they're one of the best teams historically, but I mean, they're
For
not,
ex-
go
for
ahead.
example, you know what my feeling is on West Coast quarterback. If you come from the West Coast, I don't mean to put this on you, but I don't want you
Right.
because
You're
I don't
not
think
going
you're
to really
playing it.
have success in the NFL.
I don't know if you won't have success in the NFL because I don't think that's fair to a degree, but I think in certain cities they don't work. Like in New York, a West Coast quarterback don't work. Never played in cold weather. Never had to deal with inclement weather. It's always 75 and sunny where you're at, and the ball feels beautiful. As opposed to when you're coming to New England, you gotta go. If you're coming to New York, you gotta go to New England. You gotta go to Buffalo. Now you do get Miami in there, which ain't a bad trip. But I'm saying overall, you're playing in pretty frigid temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, like for Brady, it worked because he went to Michigan. So going to another cold weather state, so he was already used to it.
He was,
Uh,
yeah, right.
but like the Jets, right? Like Sanchez and Darnold, two LA born guys, USC guys going and playing in
Hmm.
New Jersey. It's a little frigid compared to Los
And
Angeles. So
exactly. And here's the thing: do look, have we given Sam a fair shot to see what type of potential he really has? I don't think we have. Now, you could say he needs to stay healthy, and you could say the injuries are a concern, which they are to a degree. I will grant the people that say his injuries are an issue. I'll give you that. I'll stipulate that, Your Honor. However, you also need talent to win in this league. And last I checked, he didn't have much. Now, that's no disrespect to Denzel Mims and Chris Herndon and
P
uh,
Ryan and
P. Ryan and whoever else they
they
threw out
suck.
there last
The
year.
Jets offense, they stunk.
Well, I'm not. Listen, that's not
Well,
my
I could
football
say
team.
because I'm a Jet fan, they suck.
Exactly, because I can't, I can't judge because that's not my football team, and I
I
don't
wish
want to
they
come
could just
across.
come out and say that on TV and the radio, but you know, depending
I
on
mean,
the
you kind of
platform,
can.
you
You
can't
kind of
say,
can, but you can't do it on 98.7 because they own the Jets' rights. So you actually want
yeah,
people to listen to the games. But I
yeah.
mean, look, I understand your plight. Okay, I understand your plight. But this is the thing that I'm struggling with, though. It's like you look around the NFL, and you think, oh, these guys are gonna get major money. Like, for example, Shaq Barrett got a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal with 2 years
That's
guaranteed.
big for Tampa, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying, look at the amount of money you're giving out to these guys. These guys are not getting
Right.
crazy, astronomical contracts other than the quarterbacks like Dak and, um, uh, for example, Dak. There's a question in Cleveland right now: do you extend Baker? Which I'm kind of like, okay, I mean, maybe, but I'm not gonna give you the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything else. I think there's a limit to how much you extend a guy like that. Like if he has another breakout season this year where he leads you to the playoffs and his numbers increase and he throws for close to 4,000 yards and the Browns are in the playoffs again, then I give Baker his money. But I got to see you prove it, especially at the quarterback position, because like you said, you know what I mean? Like we're too quick to give quarterbacks money. Like look at the Jared Goff contract with the Rams. That trade became official today. You think I guarantee you, and you said it to me at the time, they're like, yo, they're gonna regret that contract. And they have.
Yep. Yeah, like the big money for certain quarterbacks, I don't understand it. So
Because truth of the matter is, like, if you're giving that kind of money, and I granted now you gave that money to Jared Goff after coming off a Super Bowl. Jimmy G got paid coming off of a super. Like I get why you're paying the dudes
and
the
then
money
look
you paid
look
them.
what happens to them though.
That's my point. That is it right there.
When
Because
did it? And I'm not that I'm comparing them to Patty, but what year did Patty get paid?
the year after he won the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. And he really didn't have the year of all years last year. I mean, they made the Super Bowl, but he
I
didn't
mean,
even. But he didn't put up numbers.
but to be fair, they're more talented than anybody else in the NFL. Like
Yeah,
they're the most.
no, I'm. Yeah, no,
To be fair, that talent is
I'm not
all
crapping
world
on
though.
Patty. I'm just saying, look what happens to the guys after they get, you know, paid the dollar bills.
I, you're not wrong,
That kind
but
of fade out a little bit the next year.
that's the thing that I would be looking at if whoever is the next quarterback. All right, let's play this game. Let's play your game. You love the hypothetical. Let's
I
play it,
do.
okay? We're gonna play the big dog hypothetical. Let's do this, okay? So Deshaun's next to get paid. Deshaun has come nowhere close to a Super Bowl.
None.
But if you look at what Dak just got, and Dak just got 160 million with 126 million guaranteed, and to me, Dak is a good quarterback, but he's nowhere near the talent level of a Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. So if those two guys, if Dak just got that kind of money, what are those two guys going to get when they hit the open market with no
Right.
Super Bowl track record to speak of? Like, that's when it becomes interesting because what am I giving you, and you've come nowhere close to a Super Bowl?
Good point.
And last I checked, has Dak even made a championship game?
No.
And you gave him 126 million. And now I'm not. Hey, Dak, get your money. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, if you're giving Dak Prescott that kind of money, and you always say I don't care about stats. To me, it's all about the eye test. I'm gonna use the famous big dog words. When you look at those two other quarterbacks, speaking of the eye test, whether it be Deshaun or whether it be Lamar, you get the feeling that, man, these two quarterbacks are leaps and bounds athletically better than Dak Prescott.
Now Dak's good though. I really like Dak. A lot of people like him or think he's overrated, but I think he's a good
Right.
quarterback. But
And to
he's
be
in Dallas,
fair,
so he ain't winning anything.
yeah, that's another thing too. You're also paying for the star. You're paying for the brand that is the Dallas Cowboys. You're not just paying for the quarterback. You're paying for the brand. You're paying for, hey, this guy's representing the star. And there's nothing wrong with that in a certain context. But if you put them up against those two other quarterbacks who are younger, who are much more
Right.
athletic, and Dak's coming off a broken leg, so I think that plays a part too in how much can you really assess what each of these guys are. That's the thing that I look at and I go, oh, this maybe this is something that these other quarterbacks can use as leverage, and they probably will. But it's crazy how you think, I'm getting ready to pay quarterback X close to $180 million with 140 guaranteed, and you're nowhere
Right.
near championship level. Like, that's kind of crazy. But speaking of kind of crazy, so I wake up today and I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on here. And I wake up to this interesting tweet from Scott Burnside. And Scott Burnside tweets, if I'm Lou Lamoriello, first person I call is New Jersey for Taylor Hall. I give up whatever I got to give up because if
Wait, you
we
mean
know it,
Buffalo or New Jersey for Palmieri?
Buffalo for Taylor Hall, he meant.
Gotcha.
So he goes, I'm calling Buffalo right now. They're in a state of flux. They don't know who their coach is.
Yeah, they
They're
just
in
let go of their coach, Ralph Kruger. He's gone.
yeah,
And that's
so they're
another
in a
thing,
state.
too. We'll get to them in a second, who their coach
Mhm,
could possibly be. But,
mhm,
yeah, the Islanders are in an interesting spot. I I think if Lou does decide to make a trade and finds a really good deal with Buffalo, I think,
mhm,
I don't know. And usually, me and you, and we kind of know how Lou operates. I mean, we can't read his mind, but,
mhm.
knowing his history,
No,
he ain't one to quickly just pull the trigger. But something
I
tells
think
me
in
that
it.
he may do it. Would I be
I
shocked
think
if
it.
he still didn't do it? No, but he'll be looking into it more, I think. What were you going to say? I'm
Right.
sorry.
I think in this instance you have to though, because you're not getting Andrews Lee back. He's done for the year. You have to find another option to kind of fill that void. And that's why if I'm Lou Lamoriello, I do whatever's necessary to pull the trigger to get a trade done, so I'm able to supplement my roster and go, all right, these are the guys I'm riding with heading into the playoffs. Because honestly, I'm gonna say this, and I know we break each other's chops on the show. Your team's not that good, and they're overrated and whatnot. But when you got a chance to win now, which they clearly do, they got a chance to win a championship today, right now. They're
We
that
do.
good. You can't afford to say, we'll get him next year. If you're Lou Lamoriello, listen, first of all, Lou was how old? 72, 73? How old's Lou?
I think so. Off the top of my head, I don't know the exact number,
All right,
but I
let's say
believe
let's say
early
he's let's
70s.
say
Early 70s.
early 70s or mid 70s. Let's just say for argument's sake, whatever. He knows the clock is going tick, 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 tick. To borrow from Chris Berman, it's going tick, tick. You ain't getting the
And this
time
is his
back,
third
Lou.
season, technically, with the Isles. So,
Right. So if you're Lou Lamoriello, you kind of already got to go. You know what? If it ain't gonna be now, then when?
because I think and Taylor Hall, I don't think he's going back to Buffalo anyway. He only signed a 1-year deal. And I think Buffalo just has to really, I think they got to completely just destroy the whole thing and restart from scratch.
I would agree. Yes.
But yeah, Taylor Hall would be, I mean, first of all, with Eberle and Barzal, I mean,
Where? All right. Where do you put that against the Boston's with the Pasternaks and the
you mean Taylor
that
Hall?
no, where do you put that big three with Barzal, Eberle, and Hall against
Oh,
Boston's?
it's right up there. And it's not just my fandom. I mean, if you want to look at their stats, you could, or if you watch their games, you can see that first line is elite. They can put in
Okay,
goals. They can do everything. Much like
so if
Boston, because they're a two-way line. Marchand Bergeron has been known for years to be an offensive defense or play both sides of the ice, I should say. Pasternak
right,
too. So
right, so if that's the case, and we know that to be the case for sure, then if you're Lou Lamoriello, that's who you got to look at. You got to look at Boston. You got to look at You got to look at teams that you already know. All right, we got to match up with these guys. Yeah, we
yeah,
got we got to match up with these guys and how they play the game. What we got to match up with them strength for strength. And the thing I like about the Taylor Hall acquisition, if you're able to do it, is he brings size. He brings a level of now
he's a
you got
big
the
dude
net from
actually. Yeah, so he can
yeah.
if he's crash the net playing like he does.
Mhm.
That's big, and he can
Right.
also
And
snipe it too. So he's got a really good shot on him. So
mhm. I also think this, and this is, I think, the most important thing. I also think that when you look at teams that are going for the championship, you kind of don't worry about what the cost is going to be now. You kind of just go for it, and whatever happens, happens. So if I'm the Islanders and teams like that are close to winning a championship, you kind of don't worry about the cost. You kind of say, you know what, it is what it is. We'll pay for whatever the draft capital is later on, but I really can't sit
yep,
here and say, we can't do this because it might hurt us in the future. Like they're not worried about the future. You should be trying to win one right now, just for the sake of the fans and the organization and where you are as an organization.
right.
Moving into a new arena, the whole situation. It kind of feels like okay, maybe this may be the move that sets us up moving into the new arena where you might be able to get some free agents to migrate, or you may be able to make a trade or whatever. But
Absolutely.
at this point, at this point, I'm gonna, and I know maybe this is sacrilegious, but you're kind of in the same boat as like in the NBA. You're kind of the same boat as Brooklyn or the Lakers or the Clippers or like that's just win now. It ain't we worry about the draft picks later. Like I'm not worried about who we got to trade
Yeah,
and all that.
we are in that position to win. We have been for the past few seasons. So I mean,
Now,
last year we were two games away from the Stanley Cup. So
right. And that's what I think is going to boil down to. At some point, you got to have a true assessment of where you are as a franchise and go, well, damn this. Whatever picks we got to give up, we got to give up because I want to win. And especially Big Dog, you just said it. You're close to it, a championship. Like you can't, because who knows when this comes back around again. Like that's the one thing in sports we always say all the time. Oh, they'll be here for 10 years. Oh, they'll be here for however long. Oh, they'll be here. They'll be here. They'll be here. And it don't work like that. We said the same thing about. Listen, we said the same thing about um the Legion of Boom in Seattle. That didn't last that long. They were all gone within a 4 or 5 year period. The
yeah,
whole
it
football
did
team.
go to two Super Bowls.
Right.
Well, gave one away, but
Well, you know.
no, and yeah, and while you have Trotz and Lamorello, you got to try and win now with them. Two of the
Right.
greatest to ever coach and general manage in the NHL. So
That's the thing too. It's like you got to take advantage of the experience of the guys that
right,
probably
and
could
like
take.
I say too, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you see how a lot of these young guys and even some of the veterans now, Bailey still Bailey, but he does show you moments and has shown some improvement under Trotz. Brock Nelson's a guy who's really shown a lot of progress. And I could go down the line, but Barzal, I talk about all the time. He's really improved.
Guys, I gotta go. See you later.
Under Trotz. So
Me
and
too.
Lamorello, just that what he said, like the aura, the presence he has in the organization with the team. And
Mm-hmm.
just the new arena, the new radio deal they got last year with ESPN. I don't just things are changing for the Islanders and for the
Mm-hmm.
positive that me
Mm-hmm.
and other diehard fans have been waiting for years, and I've been waiting to see them in a conference final, and I want them to make the Stanley Cup. So
Right.
I haven't seen that. A lot of young Islander fans like me haven't seen it. So and we're like
Mm-hmm.
right there. So
Right.
if Luke can pull off a deal, uh,
When
I mean,
when you get to the point where you're so close you could taste the damn thing, you're kind of like, all right,
that's where
whatever
we
it
are.
is, it is. Whatever it is, it is. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
like you can.
I can almost feel the championship. I'm so damn close to it. The I feel like the cup is a million miles away, but I could literally reach out and touch the damn thing. Like you can't look from a public relations standpoint. They've done a great job of changing the culture and like a facelift of the organization from the arena's leaking to holy cow, we're about to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? From like,
And we're moving into a new building. They got a new
yeah,
practice
from like,
facility.
yo,
Like,
Brooklyn don't want us, so they gave us a crappy arrangement with the arena. So, bro, we about to move into a place that's state of the art, and you guys can all like kick stones. Like, get out of here. Like that, that,
yeah.
that matters a lot. Like, it
Oh,
matters.
of
And I'll
course.
say this. I'll say this too. It's the same thing with the Knicks, for example. Like we know, and nobody's looking at the Knicks or taking the Knicks seriously, but from a public relations standpoint, Tom Thibodeau's made them look like, oh my God, they play hard. They're not pushovers. You know, you don't come into Madison Square Garden expecting a fun night. Now, most nights, do they have the talent to compete with the Lakers, the San Antonios, the ball? You know what I mean? No, but you build your way to that. You build your way. You get to a point where, it starts with a Barzal. Maybe your RJ Barrett is your Barzal, where you give him a couple years, you let him keep developing, you see what he got, and then you turn around and quickly becomes your Sezikis, and this one becomes. You know what I'm saying? It's like you
Yep.
gotta kind of let it build. And in New York, in New York, we don't tend to do that. So that's why I'm very curious to see where
We're
the
always
Knicks
in a
go.
rush in New York. We,
Right.
we
I'm
don't
kind
got
of
the
curious.
patience for this. But,
I
most New York sports fan, we don't, depending on the franchise you root
I feel
for.
like,
But,
oh.
by the way, I mean, I
Hey,
can't repeat of what was said on this YouTube video. I think I showed it to you before, sent it to you, but it said, shit New York Jet fans say. I cracked up the entire time. But it's so dead on. I'm like, oh my God. Too funny. Yeah. But you got it's hard, but you gotta try and remain patient. And the Islanders, man, they're they're right there. They
that's
are
the
right
case in
there.
point of like, yo, if you wait and you let it build and people start looking at the franchise going, you know what, they did the right thing. They waited. They
Right, and
didn't
look,
rush
you
into
got
it.
the young dudes playing awesome. You got Sorokin in there
Right.
still after 10 years. So,
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, speaking of fans, tonight will be the first time fans are back at the Coliseum.
Uh-oh.
10%.
Somebody get the Kleenex and the wet wipes for this dude, because
Last week they had only healthcare workers, 1,000 of them. That was really cool to just kind of let
right,
them have their own night. That I thought that was
definitely.
classy.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I mean,
Oh, speaking of stadium capacity, Yankees and Mets,
really,
20% um on opening
yeah.
day.
How do you feel about that? And I'll be totally honest. Like, I don't know. I still don't think fans should be in, whether it's outdoors or indoors. I don't think fans should be there yet. Capacity, but just I still feel it's too soon. But I understand why they're doing it, and at least they're doing it slow.
I
They're
mean,
not
you
pulling a Texas, so
oh yeah. Yeah,
that's a
nah.
whole issue. But we're not getting into that on this show.
Mm.
But you know,
Do I think it's too soon? Me personally, yeah, I do. But
yeah, like
I,
even if you're vaccinated, right? Like, would you feel comfortable going to Yankee Stadium in
if I
April,
was
May?
vaccinated, yeah. If I was vaccinated, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
If I'm vaccinated, I'm trying to get to the ballpark as many times as humanly and financially possible, because I wasn't able to go all of last year.
Yeah,
Plus, I
that
want
was
some
so
Yan-
weird. Like,
I want some I want some Yankee Stadium chicken tenders, and I want some City Field Shake Shack. So I got
hey,
some trips to
listen,
make.
the food's very important too.
Well, of course. Listen, we didn't get to the Met game at 5:30 the other day just to walk around the building. We
Yeah,
had to
we
get
got
something to
there a
eat.
couple hours early. We
listen,
planned it out. Like, all
listen.
right, I'm meeting you at your house. We're gonna leave this time, something like that. 3:10, 3:30.
Yo, we left at 3:30. The accessory pulls up. We're out. And the whole ride there, I'm like, what am I gonna eat? Because I'm starting to get hungry, and I'm starting to get hungry. And they're like, oh, I got a sausage and pepper stand. I'm like, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, because at first we were walking to Shake Shack, I think, and then we tried the premium sausage thing, and we were like, you're like, wait, let's turn around and you want sausage and peppers, big dog? I'm like, yeah, I can go for that. Like, all right, let's go. And I'm telling you, that was good luck, like you said. And so I think next Met game we gotta order the same exact thing.
Yeah, man, you got to keep up the tradition. Yeah,
Yeah, can't mess around.
yeah. Speaking of the Mets, they got some disturbing news today on Cookie Carrasco. Hurt his hamstring doing infield drills and probably won't be ready for the opening couple of weeks of the regular season. That kind of sucks because I wanted to see what that guy can do. Put him in a rotation with DeGrom and Stroman and Peterson, and I want to see what he had. So it sucks that he's not going to be available. Um, you just feel for Carlos Carrasco dealing with the cancer and coming back, and then now the hamstring,
Yeah,
and
that's horrible.
it's like you can I catch a break? Can a brother can I catch a break? Can I please catch a break? You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping he comes back this year, and I hope he pitches well. And I just hope that you're able to stay healthy relatively for the entire season, where it's not where you don't have injuries popping up out of nowhere, and you know
Right.
it's just health is the key to everything. Like we always talk about, if this player produces, like you got to be healthy in order to produce. Like we could say, we got this guy had a down year, and you don't know what injuries guys are playing with and how they feel physically and mentally and all that stuff. So, um, I'm excited to see what the Mets and Yankees do, both healthy, and hopefully we'll know a little more about this hamstring thing with Carlos Carrasco, and we can get him close to you know, feeling back to himself, because that's a big loss in their rotation.
Big time.
Yeah.
Hope he gets better soon.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll know what, you know, hopefully we'll know what they're looking at, and they look at some imaging for him, and they'll figure out what's next for him, but it kind of breaks your heart to see him not healthy, because all he's been through. So I'm like, come on, man,
Definitely.
figure this out and get healthy, and then let's see you pitch in New York, because I think that guy can. He definitely has the type of stuff that I'd like to see him pitch every 5 days. But speaking of doing things every 5 days and all the craziness, so next Thursday show is going to be a little different. I'm going to tell you that right now, because the trade deadline in the NBA is next Thursday. Now it's going to be done by the time we hit the air, but I'm going to be half dead because trade deadlines, I usually tend not to sleep. I usually I load up on
Yeah,
loads
I
of
mean, you don't sleep
caffeine.
anyway, but you only sleep like 3 hours a night.
I mean, not always.
Yeah, you're a night owl. Oh, Brashard
What are you trying to say?
Perryman is signing with the Lions. Breaking news from Adam Schefter. Well,
Well,
Jets news there.
there that goes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't usually sleep. Um, I don't usually sleep really well, but you know, this is when you get it. This is when you don't get like you really don't get sleep. You got the coffee running, and you're hoping that you know. Now, do I expect anything astronomical to go down? No, but you're gonna see some ancillary
Oh,
around
the
the
Knicks getting
like.
someone?
I kind of
Playoff
hope they
push?
don't. No, I was telling Ange this. I said the one year where the draft is loaded with lottery prospects, you got 5 game-changing players in this draft. This is the year, typical Nick fashion. This is the year where we're pushing for the playoffs. This year, this year, when if you get in the lottery, you can change the fortunes of your franchise. And this is the year you hire Tibbs. This is the year Randall decides to play out of his skull. This year is the year when the Knicks they were gonna win like 17, 18 games the whole year. This year, with this team and that draft, is the year you decide to make the playoffs. That is just great. That is great. Like I'm like, fellas, you know what this draft looks like, don't you? Like you guys have big boards. Like you do know what you're doing, right? Like this year, this of all years is the year you decide, let's be competitive.
It's the Knicks. You know, like you always say, it's
Help
the Knicks.
me now. Like don't it's true, big though. It's sad, but it's true, bro. It's 100% true. I'm like, yo, fam, this is the year. This now, this is what you decide to do. This. Okay. Okay. And you know, me and my brother Angelo were talking about this, and I'm like, yo, man. So this is the year. This year right here, Julius Randle. First of all, Julius Randle's gonna ball out. He's gonna become a free agent, and who gets stuck with the bill? Ding, ding, ding. The New York Knickerbockers. Do you know why?
Cornerback Kevin Johnson going to the Titans. He was a former Brown, apparently.
He was that right. He was that right. What do you Yo, I'm just being honest. He was that right.
Yeah, you're not savage.
What do you want from me? You want to talk about me being savage? Oh, this one going to that? We didn't need him. We didn't need him. We didn't need him. He's a bum. We didn't need him.
You know.
Oh, poor big dog.
Fitzy going to Washington and Trubisky going to Buffalo. What do you think about those two?
They're gonna win the division. The Washington football team. They're gonna win that division.
In a way, I'll be like, yo, Fitzy.
He's gonna be like, yo, balls to the wall. I don't care. Nobody's expecting nothing from me anyway. Here it is. Here it is. I'm gonna throw 30 touchdowns, but I'm gonna throw 20 picks. We're gonna have a good grand old time. Grand old time.
Yeah, Rosenberg.
Oh man. Oh, Rosenberg must be ecstatic, but he's gonna be having nightmares in the middle of the ecstasy going, Ryan, why did you make that throw, bro? I still remember you kicking over garbage cans in your grandmother's yard. I still remember this.
Can you talk? You can talk. That's the phrase Steph waits for after every.
I remember. I was like, I got PTSD. I mean, there was no reason to, but yeah, there was no reason to call.
But yeah, that first year we became friends, and you know, the Jets were good that year. Fitzy broke the touchdown record in Jets history, which, I mean, but anyway.
Yeah, that feels like so long ago, man.
Right?
That feels like so long. I'm like, yo, time's flying. It's either we're getting older or the Jets just get further and further and further away from being
right
anything.
after he threw like the picks in the end zone and like quadruple coverage.
No.
I got up.
And I remember you called me. You're like, yo, did you watch this kid? What is he doing?
I walked down to my grandmother's house, kicking things around the backyard, putting the hands on the head, rubbing it.
You can say it, kicking shit around. You can say it,
or kicking shite around, as we like to say. Yeah, I was aggravated as hell. I'm like,
really, this is what you do. This is what you do. This.
Like, you gotta be.
You're all like, but don't worry, he'll light up the whole NFC.
The 1 year he broke records. Marshall, Decker, the offensive line. I predicted before that, and you all laughed at me. But I said 11-5.
We did laugh.
Now you
we did laugh,
but that's all right.
No, we did laugh. I admit it.
I mean, you weren't like making fun of me, but you were just laughing at the you know what I said. That
I mean, we were kind of making fun of you and your insane fandom, but right. you came close.
I did. I said Jets 11-5 win the division. Now they didn't win the division, but they can't. They one win away from 11-5.
And the last win would have got you in the playoffs, wouldn't it? It would have gotten you in the playoffs,
and we didn't have to depend on anybody else. All we had to do was win. Buffalo was out already. But they were probably thinking for Rex beat his former team and ba.
Yep.
And you knew that you had that feeling in the stomach though, and in the head, like,
Right.
could the Jets possibly mess this up? And what do you know?
Right.
Ba-ba-da-boo.
Right. I was thinking about that. I was thinking that last year with my boy. I'm like, yo, they're playing nobody. We're gonna fart this game away. And what did we? It took a miracle run from Bacon on the sidelines. I'm like, yo, are we gonna? Are we about to like? Don't do this to me here.
The Jets. Oh my god.
Oh, look at him. He's still rubbing the
So many
head.
felt for it.
He's
Fitzy
still
next year walking into your house. Fitzy's back. Then the next year, I'm thinking, we're not doing. That's when my decline. I love the Jets, but I mean, my pessimism kind of came, to the surface.
He's still rubbing the head, and it's like 6
and then
years
even
later.
with 90-year-old Josh McCown with 3-3, I'm like, yo, I gotta go to the Patriot game Sunday. I bought last minute tickets. What they do?
Oh my god!
They lost.
I told you don't do it. I told you don't do it. I told you. Folks, he calls me. He goes, yo, I think I gotta go. I gotta be there.
And
This might be to get you.
Don't do it. And we didn't even
And
get
I'm
to
literally
out. We lost by a touchdown. That was the Austin Safarian Jenkins game where the BS call of no touchdown was called.
I remember we went out to eat with Mom. I think it was somebody. We were doing something. It was somebody's like either birthday or whatever. Yeah, it was Mom's birthday because it was early October.
Yes.
And we're eating and I'm at the restaurant and I'm watching the game and I'm like, they're gonna call that a flag, right? Like that, you're gonna call that, right? Like that's not just gonna sit here and just stay in the air. Like that's gonna happen, right? They're gonna call that, and then no penalty on the play. And even I, at the freaking dinner table, was just like, so we're not gonna call it. Like you could grab people around the neck piece, the head piece. Nah, good. He was a receiver in Jacksonville. He got some speed. I like that move. He was a receiver in Jacksonville. He put up numbers last year. So I kind of like that move. Nice little slot receiver.
Just sharing old Jet story, Skip. Skip was there too with me watching the game back in 2015 with the family. He remembers.
When you get to the point where it's that painful, where losses are that painful, you're like,
it, and then Todd Bowles had the audacity after a 65-yard run from Chris Ivory. Nah, he wasn't in our game. Wasn't in the game plan. Are you out of your mind? It's windy, cold. You got to run the ball, Buffalo.
Do you want to tell the story of how I almost rolled out of not the studio, but the station? I almost left.
Yeah, because we were on air when I didn't tell you guys that beforehand, and I brought it up, and you were like, "Wait, what?" Like all of you, I think, were pretty puzzled and were like,
"Nah," but me, I was like,
"Yeah, you were extra like." Wait,
I was like, "Oh,
Nick, like repeat that again." Like, what did he say?
Hold up, maybe I gotta clean the earwax. Something ain't working with the Whistler 2000.
Go listen to it. It's on the ESPN app, the podcast. I'll send it. I was like, "Yo, you gotta hear this." He says, "Chris Ivory wasn't part of the." I was bugging out on the air. I couldn't Oh my god.
So we're not.
You might wheel away again now. Do the Joe B. You gotta listen, bro.
Bro, this is what I'm trying to understand here. We're in frigid Buffalo, can't even feel your fingers, your toes either, no part of your body, you're just freezing. Oh, wasn't a part of the game plan. Like, really? Like, really? And he said it with such calm. Well, we didn't really think Chris was a part of it. Like, yo, Todd, yo, fam, up in Buffalo, it snows if somebody sneezes wrong. Like, it's ready to snow now if you let it. Like, do you not understand where you're playing at? And just how consistently you get it wrong. year after year after year. 5-11, John. You're being kind because I got him at like 2-12 or 2-13 and
5-11.
Travis.
What's up, Trav?
What's up, brother? 5-11. You're being nice
I
there,
gotta
Johnny
wait,
boy.
maybe what the draft.
All right, so you said it depends on QB. So who's the QB for them to go 5-11? Is it Sam or you got to draft the quarterback?
Who do you think, Skip?
Because if it's Sam, then I got you guys going like 7-9 and making life interesting, or at least semi-interesting. But if it's a whole new QB, then you're gonna go through some real serious growing pains because I don't see it. I don't see it. No, we've had some Jets moments where me and this dude were friends, and he would tell me things, and I'm like,
You were like my counselor because I'd have to call you after every game that year.
yo, if there was a couch,
Even when we won, though, I would call you. Even when back when you were a Giant fan, and I'll give you the credit because you said it like before the week before when we did our show and we were doing predictions. You said the Giants are going to lose in overtime by a field goal, and you were right. That was I'm like, oh my God. He said that a week ago. That was freaky. That was really. I was like, oh my God.
Agreed. We agreed.
I agree. There's no point in
We
drafting
agreed.
anybody.
Nah,
Yeah, the Jets
I had.
last good tight end. Maybe Dustin Keller. The Jets haven't had a lot of great tight ends in their history.
Yo, real quick, what do you think about Kyle Rudolph going to the Giants?
That's an interesting move. I like that for the Giants. I think.
And what do you think it? Because I think Evan Ingram, that's basically it's a wrap for him. Because if you're not,
he's done with the
I
Giants.
mean, Butterfingers Ingram, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but for Danny Jones,
that's a security blanket. That's major, big time security blanket. I don't want Justin Fields either. And the kid from BYU, get him out of here. Get them both out of here.
Interesting breakdown there.
I don't trust Justin Fields as far as
Sammy Botts.
Nah, I don't like none of these young quarterbacks. Because look, remember when I told you I love Joe Burrow, and you looked at me, you're like, "Yo, what do you love about Joe Burrow?" I said, "Where's he played?" And you said, "You said LSU." I said, "What does that mean?" He plays Bama. He plays Auburn. He plays SEC.
Man, you said
he plays
that
NFL ready.
Bama.
He plays Bama. He plays them NFL. Yeah, but you know what? It's better than Evan Ingram right now. I gotta be honest because
he's a good fit with the Giants. I think he's gonna help them.
I think honestly, just having a security blanket there for Daniel Jones, knowing, listen, if I throw this ball 8 yards, he's gonna go get it. With Evan Ingram, you never know. He might make the play, but he's gonna stumble, fall to the ground, and hurt himself trying to get back up. Like, like you don't know what you got. So it's like I might have to do this for the sake of like I need to get this guy a security blanket. Like that's what you need.
Right. And I'm sorry to get off the football point, but I want to ask Travis and John quick because they're Islander fans. Rudolph's still solid. Do you guys think the Islanders are going to make a trade with Anders Lee being out with a torn ACL? You think Lou makes a move or the Islanders stick with what we got? I'm curious.
You said that, man.
What these two guys think. I mean, I'm from
Holy.
Brooklyn. What do you want from
He said that, man.
Yeah, want to know what these guys think. They're Islander fans like me. Do we trade somebody for somebody?
Not Anders, but Anders.
Yeah, it's Anders Lee. They should. Oh, Kyle Palmieri, you think? Not Taylor Hall? And Skip, I agree too. I think we should make a move. Kyle Palmieri, that could. He's not as good as Hall, but he's still good. I can see that too. I can see Lou pulling off that move. And Lou's got the devil connection, so if we got Kyle Palmieri, I wouldn't be shocked at all. But yeah, Rudolph with the Giants is good. That's a guy I would love the Jets to get. But then again, he's an older dude. We're not in, well, neither the Giants in on position to win, but I don't know. New York football. I feel like we've been saying this for years, though, right? About New York football. Like, it's been so bad for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the last playoff appearance for the Giants was, what, 2016?
Yeah, the infamous boat trip.
It's been since 2010, so.
The infamous boat trip.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Islanders were right on the cup. I don't care what anybody says, any hockey pundit, or we're right there. People that hate the Islanders. Go ahead.
I've said this from the. I just said it to you earlier. I think you got when you're that close, you can't worry about how it. Somebody from Buffalo. They have a few players the Islanders could use.
Jeff Skinner is good too.
Yeah. I wanted Harvey, but well.
Yeah, John.
Speaking of surprises, did you guys hear DirecTV will no longer have NFL Sunday Ticket? That the rights are up in the air. You didn't hear about this?
Oh, I wonder if my Uncle John knows, because that, we go there on Sundays.
If ESPN picks up the NFL, you know how happy I'm gonna be being able to watch all the Brown games like a regular human.
I think it should be on all the, like. Like
I'm
Verizon,
gonna cry, bro.
Optimum. I think all of them should have the Sunday Ticket as an option to purchase, not just DirecTV.
I'm saying no, but I'm saying for me, as somebody who don't have the Sunday Ticket, I'm gonna cry, bro. I was like, hold up, wait.
Yeah, we could get him for cheap. I mean, he ain't Palmieri or Hall though, but Jeff Skinner's solid.
Uncle John's gonna be mad.
He's gonna be mad. Yeah, text him that now in the group chat, Skip. Let him know.
Yeah, Sunday Ticket. They're gonna either ESPN, Hulu. Somebody's battling for the rights to Sunday Ticket.
Oh, I got Hulu, so I'm good.
If that's the case, I mean you would have to pay an extra fee for it, but it's better than getting a whole new cable system than because I was seriously contemplating moving to Dish.
Bad. I would get it.
I told Mom I was seriously contemplating moving to Dish. I go watch the Brown games on Sundays. I thought about it for a half a minute. For real. I was like,
for half a minute, you thought about it?
Fam, you're gonna make me literally uproot my whole cable system, everything. Like, you killing me, fam. And then I found out today that DirecTV no longer has exclusive rights. I was like,
you know who too was on Buffalo? Kyle Poso, former Islander fan favorite.
Oh my God, I haven't heard that name either.
Yeah. He left in 2016 as a free agent. So after that playoff run.
I mean, he hasn't done much since. So
no, and he's been injured a lot. And yeah, unfortunately, I feel bad for the dude. And he was so beyond underrated. I remember a game where me and my cousins went at the Coliseum. It was like a Monday matinee game. And it was right after the USA roster came out for the Sochi Olympics. And Poso, of course, they didn't pick him. He got snubbed. Oh, John texted him. So, because me, Uncle John, and him are in a group chat.
I want to see what the response is.
Yeah, I'm waiting because Uncle John's going to be. It's been a tradition. Like, my Uncle John's gotten the Sunday Ticket, like, for a long time.
We got to sidebar a second. We got to sidebar because I'm scrolling through Twitter. I do that during the show sometimes. Peek behind the curtain. Yo, Ryan Fitzpatrick's beard is the stuff of legends. Legends. I'm like, yo, this beard is beautiful. Rangers coaching. We discussed that a couple weeks, like
Yeah, a
couple
while
shows
ago,
back.
right? I feel like
I
not yet. Yeah, he's an injury mess, unfortunately.
I mean, let me ask you a question. And Big Dog, you follow the NHL more than I do, and maybe Big Trav, you can answer for this. You can answer this for me as well. But what does firing David Quinn really do for the organization right now? Doesn't really do much because I don't think, for me, I don't think the coach is the problem. I just think they're not talented enough to win every night. Like that's
I
my beef.
agree. And Quinn hasn't even been there that long. But will he be a term coach? I don't think so. I think at some point maybe they make a change, but not like after this season. I can't see it. Yeah, the players got to play, and then the whole Panarin situation, that's not on David Quinn. And actually, the whole Rangers coaching staff yesterday got COVID. So Chris Drury, who works in the front
Including
office,
him,
had to
right?
be the interim head
Including
coach.
him, he got
David
it, right?
Quinn?
Including
Quinn, yeah.
yeah. Wow. Because I know I read something where they said he got it, or they might have been in close contact with somebody who had it, and
Yeah, kind of
so
crazy.
yeah. I mean, look, I don't think a coaching change really solves all your issues. I think it may do some things in terms of the morale in the room because I mean a lot of guys don't like him. But does it change the way I look at your club? Probably not.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best attitude, I don't think, though. Like in some press conferences and media that I've seen, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Ranger fan, so I don't care, but yeah, very disciplinarian. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit, I mean, no one is Torts level, but he kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I think Kenny Galladay got picked up.
No, not yet. He's visiting the
Right?
Giants today. Nah, he's
I was
visiting the
looking.
Giants. He didn't sign with nobody. Nah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that could be possibility.
Yo, if he goes to the Giants, yo,
That'd be interesting.
good. Yo,
Giant that division might actually be interesting to watch next year.
word
Fitzy,
up.
Dak, Danny Jones with weapons, a full year of Jalen Hurts. Because you don't think they do anything else at quarterback, right? They're sticking with Hurts as the
Nah.
starter.
No.
Oh, you don't
Who's
think?
that? Who's that?
The Eagles.
Nah, Jalen Hurts is your quarterback. You ain't doing that crazy. Nah, he's your quarterback.
What did Trav just comment? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
The rookies are not responding, he said. Galladay is great. You know who you guys should
the
sign?
rookies aren't. Yeah,
You know what I was just thinking? You guys should sign Zach Ertz, bro. He's sitting out there on the free agent market. Go get that man some money. Like, what y'all doing
Super
out
Bowl
here, man?
champ,
Like,
tight end.
y'all out here playing games. You imagine what Zach Ertz would do to that?
Uncle John said, I heard Amazon wants to pay big money to stream games.
Well, Amazon's about to
We
buy
got
the
that
whole.
too, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, but
What's
they're
that?
about to buy the whole. If they do that, they're about to buy the whole package. Because DirecTV dropped it completely. It's not even on their like. They don't even own it anymore. So if Amazon just scoops up and says, we want that, it's theirs now.
Yeah, this is so interesting. Like now in this day and age in sports, like the
Speaking
hockey
of, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think you're gonna find this interesting too, because you've been begging me to do that. You've been begging the NFL to do this for years. All right. So NFL and ESPN they re-upped for 11
I
years.
heard,
Something
yeah. And now the Super Bowl is going to be on ABC, or well, they'll
right.
rotate.
All right, and here's the thing. Now Sunday Night Football decides what games they want to swap in and out to make the games more interesting. So when I read that, I'm like, yo, Big Dog's gonna be.
Yeah, because you've been saying it too.
Oh yeah,
for a while, like, because some of these games that just they can't flex out, it's like, oh
right.
my god, why not? Like, because
Yo, there were like 4 Sunday night games last year that I was just like, I love football, but
yeah, because after a while, like in November, December, some of them didn't matter. Like even the week 17 Washington Eagles game, it didn't matter. The Eagles were eliminated already, but for
right,
Washington it mattered. But I
right,
don't
yeah.
like. I want to see two teams that are like going for a playoff spot or a division. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm. I think that would make the most sense because you
I
want to get
I
the
watched that rant yesterday again. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the one where Don LaGreca and Andrew Gunling are screaming at each other
oh
over the
god.
host. Oh, epic! If you guys haven't seen that rant on YouTube, that is great.
Hmm. Nah,
John
man,
goes,
yo,
I can't believe it's funny. Can't believe there might not be a Sunday ticket. It's a
no, it's gonna be a
yeah.
Sunday ticket. No, but it's gonna be a Sunday ticket. There's gonna be a Sunday ticket, but it's not gonna be on DirecTV. The
Yeah.
Sunday ticket's still gonna exist, but it's not gonna be like DirecTV doesn't own the rights.
Oh, I was at that game. Now they're just showing clips right before the Islander game of the
Oh, here
fans
we
in the
go.
building.
Mm.
Oh, and of
Anyway,
all
before
people, Bailey scored.
uh,
It was amazing.
before we wrap this up, because I wanna run and you know give you time to charge your phone because I know your hands probably burning. But but
Yeah, I'm all
um,
right. There was a couple of soccer things too I wanted to get into, but
go ahead, let's do it. What you got?
oh god. Speaking of which, Tottenham
Mm.
gets eliminated today from the Europa League. Guess how? Just take a wild guess.
Last second goal.
Well, they had a 2-0 lead and blew it in extra time and lost.
No.
Between the two games, yeah, 3-2 on aggregate. So, yep. Yeah, I think,
Damn.
in all honest, because honestly, that other cup, I mean, it matters if they win, especially if they beat Man City in the Carabao Cup. But like I compared it to, we talked about it last week. That's like the Tostitos Bowl or the Goodyear
Right.
Bowl, one of those small bowl games in college no one cares about. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I think a coaching change. I know Jose Mourinho is great. He's one of the best managers, but I don't think he's a fit with Tottenham. So I think they're gonna really have to assess that in the offseason, but they're probably gonna judge it on if he wins that cup and where we finish in the Premier League. But we'll see. Also, too, did I want to talk about this briefly because I think this is something you'll find interesting too. I know you're not a big soccer guy, but we brought it up a while back. The European Championship that's supposed to take place this summer, and now
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how certain cities are already thinking about pulling out of the tournament because remember, like 12 different cities across Europe were supposed to host, but they were saying Dublin, possibly Glasgow in Scotland, uh, Baku, which is in Azerbaijan, um, and I think some other cities. I mean, would you still host it in maybe a few cities or just limit it to one or two countries or one country? If you were UEFA, what would you do?
I would.
Go
I
ahead.
I wouldn't even do the whole thing. I just like it's too risky right now. You're still in the middle of like I would hold off for at least another year and then figure out what we're doing after that.
Postpone it again.
Yeah. Now I know they won't do that because of money and things like that, but
I mean, I wouldn't like. I want to see it this year, but I wouldn't mind if they did that. Well, actually, oh no, well next year, actually they could do that because the World Cup's going to be in the fall and winter because it's in
Mm-hmm.
Qatar, so they
Mm-hmm.
could play the Euros in the summer, and then
Yeah.
which I mean, actually, I'm for that idea. Like, really figure out,
Mm-hmm.
what to do. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
wait till full stadiums could be full again and have two tournaments in a year. Now, will they do that? No, especially because of injuries and everything. Like, the European Championship, then like the domestic season, then a World Cup. That's a lot in a calendar year. But I like
Mm-hmm.
me as a soccer fanatic, I would love that to have all those tournaments in one year. But
Well, of course, because you're a nut job, and we love you, but you're nuts.
I think you can limit it to one country that has the infrastructure and all the stadiums built already. Like in England, like Italy, Spain. Now Germany's hosting next one, so they probably wouldn't choose that country to host. Like, let's say if they did limit it to one nation, or can do something like just in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
although Glasgow may not be a host anymore. So, but they'll figure it out.
Right.
But it's just an interesting, fascinating like topic. Well, me because I'm like a geography nerd, but just in general, like what are they gonna do? You know?
All right. So for further clarification on the Carrasco injury, Carlos Carrasco, the injury we spoke about earlier in the show. It's not a hamstring strain; it's a hamstring tear. Now, those are hard to predict because we don't know how long he's going to be down and when he's going to ramp back up. But I would say probably he's gonna be without him for like a month and a half, 2 months before he gets on a mound and pitches in a game. So
Right.
that's rough. That sucks. But in terms of the whole soccer thing, nah, I know you would love it. As much soccer as this guy wants. You get him soccer all year round. He's happier than a pig in sloth. He don't know what to do with himself. But like you say, with injuries and things like that, you kind of want to make sure that everybody feels good and nobody's getting injured because I mean you are running a gajillion miles. So I mean,
I love that word gajillion. That's one of my favorite words.
I mean, it's true. Um, got anything else before we wrap this bad boy up?
That's it. But this was fun, even though my computer, wasn't working for me. But this worked out though. I had fun.
I did too.
John and Travis, thank you for the comments.
We went down memory lane. We got you a little
We
fired
enjoy
up.
when you guys comment and everybody comments. It's good.
It makes the show a little bit more like fun for us because if we're
Yeah, it
just sitting
does.
here
We want to know what you guys think, and
if we're just sitting there flapping our gums, then it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We're
we want to
kind of
hear
like
other people's opinions. Yeah, it shouldn't be in Qatar, but that's a whole nother story.
yeah, but
But then the one after that is going to be right here in the USA, Mexico, and Canada are hosting the World Cup. That's going to be, oh my god!
look at him.
And the final's going to be at MetLife.
Look at him. I can see him already looking for tickets, and it ain't even happen
Oh, I'm
until
saving
4 years.
up.
Look at him. Look.
Like to go to a World Cup, that is on like
That's funny. That's hysterical.
that's on my sports bucket list. Of course, a World Cup game. I mean, in a final, if I
Oh,
can afford
yeah,
that. I mean, I can't, but I
yeah.
would still do it anyway. Because who knows when the next World Cup would be in the U.S. Even if the U.S. isn't playing in it, I don't know, just to
As
experience
much
that.
as you
Oh my
love
god!
soccer, I don't think it would matter. The
Yeah,
way you
no.
love soccer, it
Like if
won't. It
like
wouldn't
I
matter.
root for the German national team, or like Italy was in the World Cup final, I would go.
Oh,
Netherlands, I don't
look
care.
at him. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like if the WBC ever came here,
yeah, but even if the U.S. wasn't in it, you would still go. I'm sure if like the
of course,
championship
because
was at
of
Yankee
course,
Stadium or City Field.
of course, or even if it was at Citizens Bank, I'd drive.
Yeah, waking up at 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm watching the WBC, but I can't judge because I would do that for the World Cup too. So with the time
Listen,
differences, so
listen. So you can't say nothing. I remember one day I told him I'm going to bed at 9:30. Really? Yeah.
I'm like, why are
Why?
you doing that? And then when you said why, I'm like, oh, I'm not surprised.
Even my dad was like, "You going to bed now?" Like, well, yeah. He goes, "Damn, you really love baseball, don't you, kid?" I was like,
And these tournaments only come around every few years, so
every
you
4 years, so you gotta
gotta
relish
live
it.
in the moment and watch as much as you can possibly can.
I remember I had class like later that day. I didn't even
Yeah,
want
I'm
to
sure you
leave.
didn't even go, right?
No, I had to. I had a final. I
Oh
couldn't miss
yeah,
it.
you don't want to miss that. But you were probably looking at the time and then like, come on, you
Hurry
rushed
up.
through it a little bit.
Maybe.
I would do the same thing.
And I still got a 90 on it.
There you go.
All right, big deal, double G. Love you, man. This was
Love
fun.
you. It was.
See you
Thank
guys.
you guys for watching as always, and back and better than ever on Monday.
Compare with this guy's internet connection. Let's hope that the Odyssey hit.
Yeah, if not, I'll be on the phone again.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
All
All
right,
right,
buddy.
let me watch this Islander game.
All right. Hopefully they don't kill you.
Yeah, we gotta win this one.
All right, buddy.
All right.
All right, talk to him.